Protein. Protein highly complex substances that is present in all living organisms. Protein are of the great nutritional value and direct involved in the chemical processes essential for life. The importance of proteins are recognized by chemistry in the earliest and 19th century, including Swedish chemist John Jacob Berzelius, who in 1838 coined the term protein, a word derived from the Greek meaning holding first place. Proteins are the species specific. That is, the proteins of the one species differ those of another species. These are known as organ specific. For instance, within a single organism, muscles protein differ from those of the brain and the liver. A protein muscle is very large compared with molecule of sugar or salt of so consists of many amino acids joined together to form long chains much as beads or rings in a string. There are about 20 different amino acids that occur naturally in protein. Proteins of the similar function have similar amino acids composition and the sequence. Although it is not yet possible to explain all of the functions of the protein from the amino acid sequence, established connection between the structure and functions can be attributed the properties of the amino acids that compose proteins. Peptide. The molecular structure of peptide, a small protein, consists of sequence of amino acids. Plants can synthesize all of the amino acids. Animals cannot. Even though all of them are essential for life, plants can grow in a medium containing inorganic nutrients that provide nitrogen, potassium, and other substances essential for growth. They utilize the carbon dioxide in the air during the process of photosynthesis to form organic compounds such as carbohydrates. Animals, however, must obtain organic nutrients from the outside sources. Because the protein content of the plants is low, very large amount of plants are required for animals such as ruminants. Between structure and function can be attributed to amino acids that compose proteins. Legumes such as beans, lentils, and peas are the high in protein and contain essential amino acids. The protein content of animal is usually much higher than that of blood plasma muscles. For example, contains about 30% protein. The liver to 20%, and the red blood cells are 30% higher percentage of the protein are found in hair, bones, and other organ tissues with a low water content. The quantity of free amino acids and peptides are animals in much smaller than amount of protein. Protein molecules are produced in cells by the stepwise alignment of amino acids and released in the body fluids after a few syntheses is complete. The higher protein content of some organs does not mean that the importance of proteins related to their amount in organism tissue on the contrary. Some of the most important proteins such as enzymes and hormones occur in extremely small amounts. The importance of proteins are related principally to their function. All enzymes identified thus far are proteins. Enzymes are the catalyst of the metabolic reactions, enable our organism to build up the chemical substances necessary for life. Proteins, nucleic acids, carbohydrates, and lipids to convert them into the other substances and to regate them. Life without enzyme is not possible. There are several protein hormones with important regulatory functions in all vertebrates. The respiratory proteins, hemoglobin, SHs, act as oxygen carrier in the blood, transporting oxygen from the lungs to the body organs and tissues. A large group of structural proteins maintains and protects the structure of animal body. Hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is the protein made up for polypeptide chains. Each chain is attached to a heme group composed of porphyrin attached to iron atom. And the iron phosphate complex contains oxygen irreversibly as the ability to directly related to the role of the hemoglobin oxygen transport in the blood. General structural properties protein, the amino acid composition of protein. The common property of all protein is that they consist of the long chains of amino acids. The general structure of the amino acids shown in the amino acids are called so because the carbon atom in the molecular of the amino acid atom is also a carboxylic protein. Formula 1. General structure of all amino acids in acidic solutions when the pH less than 4, the COO groups combine with the hydrogen ions and thus converted into the uncharged form. In alkaline solutions at pH above 9, the ammonium groups lose a hydrogen ion and convert it into amino groups. In the pH range between 4 and 8, amino acids carry both a positive and negative charge and therefore do not migrate in electrical field. Such structures have been designated as dipolar ions. Although more than 100 amino acids occur in nature, particularly in plants, only 20 types are commonly found on the most proteins. In the protein molecule are the amino acids and linked to each other by peptide bond between the amino group of amino acid and the carboxyl group of its neighbor proteins. Formula 2. The peptide bond. The condensation joining of three amino acids yields the tripeptide. Proteins formula 3. It is the customary to write the structure of the peptide in such a way that the free amino groups called the N terminus of at the side and the free carboxyl group at the right side. Proteins are the macromolecular polypeptides, very large molecules composed of many peptide amino acids. Most of the common ones contain then other amino acids linked to each other in a long peptide chains. The average molecular weight of each amino acid approximately 100 to 125. Thus, the molecular weight of the protein is usually range of 10,000 to 1 lakh dead tons. 1 lakh is the weight of every one of hydrogen. The species specificity and the organ specificity of proteins is a different number of sequences of amino acid 20 different amino acids in a chain of 100 amino acids then would be arranged for 10,000 structure of the common amino acid. The amino acid present in the proteins differ from each other in the structure of their side chains. The simplest amino acid is glycine, in which R is a hydrogen atom in the number of amino acids. R represents the straight and the branch carbon chains. One of the most common is alanine, in which R is the methyl group. Valine, leucine, and valine, which longer groups completely of the amino acids. Thus, valine is supplied in the diet.